going into this game.
Go full Chuck Norris here. Maybe that's the strength that he needs.
And obviously, Rogue Warriors on the blue side. Still going to keep the Nidalee ban. This time, they're going to ban out the LeBlanc, which we talked about. Ruby was not actually much of a LeBlanc player this split. He plays it a lot in solo queue, doesn't play the champion, but I'd say it's not one of his better ones, like the Azir, which he does look prominent on a lot of games. So I like that they're banning this. And overall, the interesting thing is that Vici have not banned out Varus yet.
That's true, and a little bit terrifying because I don't know if you guys have seen the Reddit threads. Varus is like 99% fan presence. There was one game where he got through, actually lost.
And it was actually against Vici. Vici are the ones who let it through. They gave it to E-Star.
And then they beat it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
But still, doesn't matter because they leave it open now. And Rogue Warriors once again saying, we don't care about Aphelios. We don't care about any priority 80 carries. As long as we get lay on Thresh, we're going to win the game.
This is our win condition. Get laid Thresh, because otherwise he might run it down. So the Thresh is locked in. We've got Aphelios on the other side for Vici Gaming, which iBoy has played plenty of. And we'll see where they go next. Something like a jungler certainly could be a good option. Or get hung something defensive that it can protect Aphelios.
Huh, that's surprising. They just blind picked Zoe outright. So obviously with the LeBlanc ban, and they also banning Kindred themselves, saying, hey, we put a high priority on this champion. Now I want to see where Rogue Warriors go with jungle. Haro could go towards something like the Trundle. And you would expect him to pick up the Ashe in this rotation as well.
Oh, there's the Ashe you were talking about. iBoy leaving something to be desired with his ults during that last game, but ZWuJi has played a ton of the Ashe himself, and it has been one of the more successful picks for him as an AD carry. Alongside a Thresh, you have a ton of kill pressure. You have a ton of safety as well for that Ashe.
Yep, Rogue Warriors have been all about just champions that have the option to play aggressive.
And hey, let's just get signatures across the board. Why not? If we get the Azir for Ruby, this is absolutely the standard Ruby pick.
And this makes sense because Ruby's only played 5 champions this split. He has played Zoe, he's played LeBlanc, he's played Azir, and also Karma, so, oh, and the Syndra as well. So everything is either banned or taken outside of the Karma, so guaranteeing that Azir makes a lot of sense.
Looks like we're going to see the Leona locked in here for Hung. So not going to be the Tahm Kench, the Braum that we were talking about, but you can still play the Leona in a very defensive capacity. So there is some level of defense there.
Yep, it does fine against the Thresh in the sense that, you know, if he ever does try to full-on commit to you, are extremely tanky. You have the CC to shut him down, or even just ignore him and go straight towards his AD carry as well. So they're going to be fine in the laning phase, and both teams still able to index into these straight-up 5v5 teamfight comps. Obviously, we have a bit more proactivity on the side of Rogue Warriors thus far with the Ashe.
Yeah, the Leona does offer some level of engage as well, but now as we move towards the jungle bans here, we've got a Lee Sin taken away by Vici Gaming. It's answered with this Renekton ban against Cube. Renekton, one of the picks that Cube kind of made his name on. When you think all the way back to Demacia Cup at the start of the year when Cube was starting to get some hype behind him, Renekton was the pick that really stood out. Yep,
his Renekton and Mordekaiser to me were the two big ones. I expect Vici to go towards jungle on next pick and then just guarantee a counter pick for Cube. We do know, it's pretty surprising to me that Vici actually banned out the Lee Sin first, because the two champions that jump out to me from Liliana from, you know, Spring Split were Nidalee and Lee Sin. The Volley Bear is still open though, so.
But it is not Lien playing, it's
Ike's
playing.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
He hasn't played any of the Lee Sin. Jarvan has been his #1 pick, but he's played a lot of different things.
Yep,
like he's got a wide pool.
He's been another one to pick up something like the Echo this, but obviously the Trundle's still there as well. The Trundle would typically be our next highest priority jungler. It does also do well up against immobile AD carries like the Ashe, since Pillar does offer a lot of value.
Bit interesting to see that Kale banned away there. It does open up things like the Ornn for the side of Holder, where he could go for the Ornn, have a big team fight ultimate, and not just be punished and outscaled during the laning phase.
The Ornn, I'm sorry, would be nice here. Another potential champion would be the Volley Bear themselves for top lane. Obviously, there's a lot of strong matchups in the top lane, and would be hard for Cube to get a counter pick. Maybe could go towards something like a Fiora if that came out, but you did talk about the Ornn, and it is the perfect champion for the front-to-back 5v5 team fights that they're looking for.
But we'll see if they lock it in. The Trundle you talked about was locked in there. We do have this Sett coming on through.
Could be a jungler.
Could still go to Haro in the jungle. I do really hate it in the jungle, though. I hope they take a top lane.
Yeah, not a big fan of it in the jungle either. Obviously very strong in early duels and skirmishes. Obviously more of a diving champion because you are able to use that W, you know, tank up a lot of damage, get the shield and walk away.
One thing that I do want to mention as well, actually Kindred locked in here for Haro. Not a pick that I would necessarily associate with Haro, but, you know, likes to play aggressive, likes to go for these counter jungling strats, so definitely could work out for him. And also, on the other side, don't go for the Jace. Please don't go for the Jace, Vici.
Also for the Kindred, though, also very good into the Trundle matchup itself. And I always love when you have Kindred and Azir on the same team because then you can just force everyone on the enemy team out of the Kindred ultimate and secure those kills for yourself.
That's true. So there's a nice little combo there. And we see Cube going for a Kennen here up in the top lane. Obviously, Sett is melee. Kennen is really good into every single melee pick at the top lane.
Yep, so going to be able to at least bully him out in early laning phase. But we actually saw this matchup a bit last split. And it's not too bad for Sett. A lot of ranged matchups like this, Sett can kind of just ignore you in lane, you know, throw the haymaker to the wave and then just walk away. Use your passive sustain back up and do it again.
There's an extra interaction that's worth talking about. It's kind of similar to Kennen when there's a Lee Sin in the game. Like, you all, they just take you the hell out of that fight. You don't get to play anymore.
Yep.
You don't get that ult onto the whole team.
And we actually saw that quite a bit last split as well when there was the Kennen. So, interesting choice coming out from Vici. And overall, I'd say I really like what Rogue Warriors have drafted.
We'll see if Rogue Warriors can get some momentum here. They got the first game for themselves, and now with a pretty consistent draft here, just in terms of like comfort, right? Just getting picks for the team that you know that they're going to be able to perform on. Aside from maybe that setup in the top lane, but realistically, Sett in lane is not that hard of a champion to play, so I'm sure that Holder has played plenty of Sett in the past. And we'll see, because now the pressure is all on Vici. Vici are 1-0 down against the team at the bottom of the standings. They are on the cusp of being the first win that Rogue Warriors have of the split. And we'll see if this composition with the Kennen, with the Zoe, is going to be the answer that they need to shut Rogue Warriors down.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you just look at the way their whole comp interacts with what Rogue Warriors have drafted, right? And if they do go in and look for these big AoE ultimates in a team fight, like the Kennen going in, Leona throwing down her ult, Aphelios walking forward, as well as the Trundle, we have Lamb's Respite, we have Sett who can ult the Kennen out of the fight, we have the Azir ult who can push everyone away, and then we think about the inverse, because this also could be played as more of a pseudo-poke comp, where the Kennen ult is used to, you just stand next to your carries, you dissuade anyone from coming in, but at the same time, your only poke champion is Zoe.
Hang on, we've already got a fight here. ZWuJi just wanted to defend the Tri-Brush, man, but Hung's not having any of it. As Hung and iBoy move forward, going to get some deep vision onto them. No way are they going to go for it. Okay.
No way.
I was like, hang on.
Munchables.
Just hold it a second
Calm
here.
down. But, yeah, overall, ZWuJi doesn't lose anything, so.
I cannot be calm. Look at the Colonel. 57%. He reckons we're on the cusp of seeing Rogue Warriors' first win of the entire split. He's excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited, too. With these drafts, this actually might just be a 2-game series. For Vici, like I was saying, you have the tools to play it as a pseudo-poke comp, but your only poke champion is Zoe. You obviously have a Leona in the bot lane, and they also have an Azir who is pretty much just as long range as you, so you're not going to be able to do that. You have a lot of long-range engage coming out from the Ashe as well, so you can just look for picks elsewhere. And it feels like Vici kind of outdrafted themselves.
It does feel a little bit that way, and I'm not going to lie, Lyric. We keep on talking about Coma, how great he is, his legacy of T1 and yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to lie, Vici's drafts have been kind of terrible all year.
I feel like the community really misunderstands the way that draft is done, though, because I promise you that there is almost no coach. I'll say like 90%, 95% of coaches don't say, hey, we're playing this, you pick this. It is a collaborative effort, and you could, like, if you come in and say, hey, Cube, you're not going to play Kennen, you're going to play, you know, whatever, you're going to play you're going to play Ornn. You're going to play Ornn this comp. He's like, no, I don't feel confidence on Ornn. I don't think Ornn fits this comp. And you just say, no, you lock in Ornn. He now doesn't have confidence going into the game. He's not going to perform well regardless. You know, you're put in a rough position. So it is a very collaborative effort. You could see that on Vici. This wasn't just Coma coming in and saying, hey, guys, you pick A, B, and C. He's working with his players and giving them what they feel comfortable on as well. Whether you think that is the right or wrong approach, I'm going to stop, though, because Haro has his own approach.
He's approaching the top lane right now. There's a flash engage, but Q goes downwards and immediately flash followed by Haro here. They want this kill. They're going to be able to find it immediately. Haro with first blood.
We said Haro is the big catalyst for this team. Being really cheeky, finding a way around, forcing the flash out of Cube and securing the kill.
Beautifully done here. It was 2 flashes for 1, but you know what? They got the kill, and that's what matters at the end of the day. And I believe there was also a stack for Haro, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on, Ike's wants a 1v1, and that's going to be a pillar that's a bit of a pain as the flash comes out from Zeke, and flashes galore. This is the kind of game that we wanted in game 1.
Yeah, and that's great from Vici. Ike's reading the situation well, knowing that Haro's probably going to walk back over, potentially look for the Scuttle Crab. And he had no flash, so no way to get away from that pillar once it comes out. Great hover from Zeke as well. We were questioning how this 2v2 would work, since this isn't the combo we typically see. So far, working out well.
We might have another fight here. Lay steps forward, goes for the hook. It's on to iBoy. Cleanse not going to be used here, as ZWuJi just easily able to follow up. We're going to see another couple of flashes. No! iBoy goes down with both of his summoners available. Now Hung tries to find the counter engage onto Lay. Ike's can't get in, though. Slowed by ZWuJi and forced away from the play.
Oh.
Lay goes for it once again. Do not give this man Thresh, because he's going to make it happen. Haro jumps over the wall to try and follow onto Ike's. I don't think they can find another kill, though. Hung needs to be careful, but ZWuJi can't follow.
Munch, you described it quite well. iBoy still having all of his summoners. Doesn't make much sense. Also, stop giving Lay Thresh. It's his best champion by far. They first picked it for a reason.
Just look at the camera on iBoy right now. He does not look like a happy camper.
To be fair, iBoy always looks pretty stone-faced and straightforward.
I'd say he looks slightly glum rather than stone-faced. Lay! It's like 100% accuracy.
I told you, it's like Hung is the magnet and the death sentence just goes.
So you're saying it's more of a Hung thing than a Lay thing?
It's definitely more of a Lay thing, but you know, I actually feel bad. You just put it in perspective. I'm kind of just kicking Hung while he's down. Yeah. Sorry, Hung.
I don't think he's listening, mate.
He's
listen. Actually on the stage. So,
they do listen. We said to Rogue Warriors, hey, stick to a lineup. They stuck to a lineup.
That's true.
They listened to our cast.
There's no way that they could see similar issues that you could see in the roster. It's just it's unfeasible.
It is.
It's not realistic. After all, we talked about coaching staff don't do anything in the LPL. That was your quote, right?
No. I mean, I guess it was close enough. No, not just in the LPL. I think I insinuated more of the whole world, but
this is speaking from a person that spent a lot of time coaching in League of Legends.
But Haro is spending a lot of time ganking lanes in League of Legends. Oh no, actually potentially ganking lanes.
Which is kind of interesting, because Kindred not really the pick that you'd expect to be super gank heavy, not offering any CC, but ultimately, if you can find the stacks through the ganks, you're more than happy to go for it.
You also don't have a lot of setup in your lanes. Like, Ruby's only real setup is him going in, using that ultimate aggressively. Holder, I guess, could look for flashy. Now his ultimate's up as well, can try to get behind the Kennen, but this is the style we expect Haro to play.
Oh no! Ike's the timing could not have been worse. This is another kill for Haro. He's already getting fed on a Kindred. He's got 2 stacks for himself. This is perfect for Rogue Warriors.
Whether it's because of the draft or just something him in general, Coma, like, literally throwing Ikes to the wolves. Get it?
And
Get it?
The lamp.
Lamb and the wolf?
Good one, Lyric. Excellent joke.
God, I kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
I really ruined it.
You shouldn't have said get it. That was the mistake.
But that's always the funnier part. When you make a joke cringy, it's actually the funniest part of the joke.
It was already cringy. So you kind of just added to it. So I don't know about that one. Either way, we've got some mid laners moving around here. Zeka, I thought he was going to go and try and make a play on the bot side. He's not. He's just going to go back to the mid lane.
Yeah. You know, we didn't really talk about it, but Ruby did take Comet this lane, so going for the much more aggressive Azir approach. Doing it so once Zeka sets up the paddle star and then walks forward, you're supposed to drop the soldier as the Azir and get that guaranteed poke damage coming out.
So let's just take a second here, because there's been a fair few fights already this game. Let's talk about the Rift Herald that's going to be coming up in about 30 seconds, because it feels to me that Rogue Warriors should easily be the ones with a huge advantage going into that.
Yes. I mean, it's just that simple. I feel like for the Rift Herald, Rogue Warriors should just be able to go and guarantee it. We talked about the top lane matchup, how Sett can pretty much just ignore the Kennen, and we've seen Holder push in top all game. He's always been on Cube's side of the lane. Cube not really able to find any advantages himself.
Lei wants a hook, and he's going to find it again. Hung had flash, but he's not going to respect it. Now play onto this Leona, but it is a Leona, and it's Lei that's in trouble now. One more auto would do the job. Flash from Zeka to make it happen. There's a trouble bubble as well. The cleanse is going to be used before he can go down. Haro walks away.
Hung doing a great job of getting hooked and bringing Lei under the turret.
Did you just compliment Hung?
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, not necessarily, his fault that Lei decided to go in that deep, but great job, Hung. You set that up.
Did you just take it away from Hung?
A little bit.
You complimented him, then I comment on it, and you're like, actually, I take it all back. This was entirely Lei's
It goes against my brand. You can't be positive.
You're positive about Lei all the time. I think you
Lei's
I
Thresh.
think this is a favoritism.
Lei's Thresh. It's not a favoritism. Don't give me Lei's Leona.
That's true. It's Leona has been suboptimal.
If any of you saw Rogue Warriors against Top Esports, it was not a pretty sight.
It was if you're a top esports fan.
True. If you like some good League of Legends. Speaking of good League of Legends, Zeka has really been a standout for Vici since coming back into the roster. Way more stable than Forge. Always goes even in lane, has a much wider champion pool. Might get caught out by Haro and Lei, but they're gonna hover towards the other side of the lane, which makes sense because we now see Ike's killing this Grump.
Yep, so he knows that he's going to be able to play this one safe, and I like this from Vici. Just respect the fact that you definitely cannot fight for this Rift Herald. It's going to go the way of Haro here. And the big question, what is going on with the Herald? He was like, were the soldiers trapping him? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Either way, they're going to get the Herald, which is the most important thing about the whole situation.
I'm kind of scared for ZWuJi if he actually walks up to his turret. Because the map is split right now, right? Ike's and Hung can come around, keep him under turret and go for that dive. But nope, ZWuJi respecting. Nice job out of Rogue Warriors. And you asked, what are we going to see with Rift Herald? Rogue Warriors, it feels like they should win team fights at most points in this game if it comes just straight up even. Vici are going to need to capitalize on Rogue Warriors' mistakes like we saw them do with that last game, or just continuously trade sides on the map and just hope they get to a 50-50 team fight later on where Zeka hits like a massive trouble bubble and you pick someone off.
And let's just bear in mind what the win condition generally is against things like the Aphelios when we talk about scaling. Like, Aphelios is a win condition in of himself, but keeping him at range is how you beat it. That's exactly what Azir is. It's exactly what Azir excels at. We don't have time for scaling right now, though, because Rogue Warriors are going to start this dragon off as Vici were forced away.
The Holder's here, so I don't know what Vici's trying to do.
This is a 3v5 that they've just opted into. I don't think this is the play, Vici, but I could be wrong, because ZWuJi could be in trouble here. Knock back this slicing Maelstrom across the whole team, but Lamb's Respite kind of ruins everything here. Rogue Warriors winning it out to start this one off. Moonlight Vigil is there. Lei goes down. Can they turn this one back on his head? Ruby is the next one to fall, and Vici have found themselves a fight.
Yeah, Munchables.
Zeka!
Rogue Warriors were not on the same page. We saw ZWuJi flash away from the Lamb's Respite. Flash the complete opposite way. The members weren't on the same page at first with running forward. You pointed out they had a 5v3. They could have won that completely. All of Vici going in a bit too soon, but great job of them taking advantage of Rogue Warriors' mispositions and coming out ahead.
And just keep your eyes on Zeka in this fight, because he played this beautifully.
Yeah, we see them go in. Ruby not in range to deal any DPS. Zeka on the back. We see ZWuJi here, gets a bit scared, flashes out of the Lamb's Respite, goes forward, still gets stunned. Ruby dealing no DPS in the meantime, was not CC'd even a little bit. And just great play coming from Zeka, like you said, had some really good threat with those Sleepy Trouble Bubbles and dealing a lot of damage with that Paddle Star. And overall, it feels like Rogue Warriors carries were the ones who didn't step up in that situation.
And Vici's carries really did. Great ult coming out from iBoy. Zeka able to clean up the fight at the end of things. You already talked about Zeka being one of the standout players on the side of Vici. You can see that on the scoreboard right in front of you. 4-0-2 on the Zoe. Trying to make some plays onto Ruby as well, but won't find the trouble.
That flash from ZWuJi is so disappointing. I guess it makes sense, though. Like, you see everyone running towards you. A Kennen's coming at you. There's a Zoe behind. You're like, oh, God, I need to flash away. But it's like, no, you have a Kindred.
Yeah, just hold on tight. He was actually fine anyway. Like,
yeah, he would have been fine regardless.
Even outside of the Kindred ult,
he would have been fine.
He didn't get low enough for it to matter.
Yeah.
But this is now going to be the Herald being dropped in the top lane. So Rogue Warriors find themselves at least some gold out of the back of all of this action. it's still going to be Vici with a gold lead.
And to be fair, I don't think Vici getting ahead changes the dynamic of how the fight should go with the mechanics that Rogue Warriors have available to them. It might change if Zeka quickly gets to a point where he just one-shots with some massive paddle star, because right then you quickly get a 5v4, and that will be an avenue where Vici can punish.
Also, getting a bunch of gold onto Aphelios. I mentioned it before, it's a win condition.
Always, right? Yep, always. Doesn't matter like what the comps are. Aphelios is always, it's like standalone, like checkbox on a list of things, a list of ways you can win the game.
Oh wait, he smited that early. ZWuJi got the red buff there against a smite from Ice. And Koma suddenly shaking his head, wishing he'd put Leona in.
Yeah, we don't question Coach Koma. He's the most decorated coach in League of Legends history,
That's
so...
true. I have been memeing on him a little bit here.
Yeah, can you please respect the GOAT?
Ornn isn't even in this game, dude.
That's true. We almost had Ornn, but sadly not today.
I mean, I'm not that upset that we didn't get Ornn. We get Ornn like every game, dude.
I love
like,
Ornn.
I'm cool
Ornn is
with no
still fun. Ornn has good trades in the lane, is strong. We see him walk across the map, open up the Call of the Forge of God. We see some great knockups coming in with his E as well.
It depends on the Ornn. Ruby is going to be okay. Slides on out of there. So yeah, back to you. Tell me about Ornn.
You know, I think I've said enough about Ornn.
I think you have too. I'm sick of you talking about Ornn on this broadcast.
What about Maokai?
No.
I love Maokai.
Let's not talk. Oh, you mean assistant coach Maokai on Vici Gaming?
Yes.
I see who you're talking about now. Zeka's in trouble. Haro won't be able to find too much though, as Hung able to block a lot of the damage here. Zeka did get very low. What is that? Lamb's Respite available, but I don't think he was expecting that damage.
No, and I also don't know why Rogue Warriors are looking for this aggressive play on this timing. We have Dragon up in a minute. We're also going to have Rift Herald up soon. So Vici are going to be forced in a position where they aren't under their turret and they're near a neutral. So Rogue Warriors just being a bit overzealous and are punished. But hey, if Rogue Warriors isn't overzealous, is it Rogue Warriors? I'd say no.
I'd say no as well.
It's just the Warriors.
They're just rogues at that point.
Yeah.
They're just alone in the world. Into the mid lane they go. Late. Narrowly avoids a paddle start, and we've already seen how much they do from Zeka. He's got a smite for himself right now, and Drake is up in 20 seconds. It's one apiece right now. And this time, it's the soul that is worth fighting for.
And remember how I said the dynamic doesn't change unless Zeka can like one-shot people with this paddle star?
Yeah, well.
We quickly found out Zeka can one-shot people with this paddle star, so... Vici now have a way to play out this game.
That was...
Oh, and iBoy as well, all that gold.
Yeah, I mean, iBoy got all 5 plates in the bottom lane. You have to bear that in mind. He is that Aphelios. He's already got an IE, heading towards a Hurricane as well. Like, he's ahead on items when it comes to the AD carries. And, like, obviously we talk about Aphelios being like a 3-item carry, right? But Ashe kind of is as well. Ashe really doesn't do very much damage in the early game.
True. Ashe is definitely more about the utility in the early stages of the game, which I would argue should be enough when you have a Kindred Sett Azir. You really just need to be someone who spams your ultimate as well as your E, but so far we're not seeing it work out for Rogue Warriors, and maybe this is just destiny. Maybe this is the fate of Rogue Warriors where you go to 3-game series and it's going to be a big fiesta.
Maybe. I mean, they went to 3 games against JDG. They went to 3 games against OMG.
Hey, Vici as well, their last 2 series were both 3 games.
That's true. I mean, inconsistency is king here in the LPL, apparently, because, I don't know, the big problem is it doesn't feel like we're seeing a coherent, like, I don't know. Every single game from these 2 teams, we see a different thing.
Yep.
I don't feel like going into a game with Vici or with Rogue Warriors, I know exactly what I'm getting. Well, aside from Rogue Warriors, are gonna fight,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Other than that, though,
I guess
even that, we didn't even see that in game 1.
I'd say there are these teams like Vici, maybe Suning, EDG. I guess you always know what EDG's mistakes are, but there's a couple of these teams. I think Vici and Suning are 2 of the standout ones. Oh, well, Rogue Warriors gonna get this turret with Herald, but yeah, those teams that you don't know what form they're going to get or how they're going to play the game. Heck, we didn't expect Vici to use Ikes today, and they randomly pull him out in this game too.
Not going to be able to find a tower here. Holder going to use Hung as his pathway out of the play. Still has his flash if he needs it. Haymaker still available as well. Dodges away. keep yourself safe. Almost got a return kill onto Hung there as well.
Yep. We just see Holder on a champion that...
And you know what? Rogue Warriors are like, okay, if you're going to make a play on the top side, if you're going to commit that many players to top side while we've got a Herald in the bottom lane, you can take the tier 1. We'll take a tier 2.
We see iBoy actually rotating over, though. Okay, so it's dissuaded at the last second. I was going to say, you have a Kindred plus Azir, so it's pretty much like a double marksman. You're going to be able to push on that turret very quickly. So overall, solid macro play coming out from Rogue Warriors with that Herald.
Really nicely done from Rogue Warriors. They're able to win out the trade overall. In terms of gold, though, they are still ultimately behind 2,000 gold right now. So Vici, very much with the advantage. And it's important to note where these towers are, because it's 3 towers apiece, right? But with Rogue Warriors taking that tier 2 in the bottom lane, is there anyone on the map that is going to benefit in a big way from having that long lane to work with?
Not necessarily, right? Because on both sides, you did draft for this straight-up 5v5. Holder not really looking for the 1v1 up against Cube. It's still in a position where he's pretty much just going to ignore him. Maybe it's slightly better for the side of Rogue Warriors in the sense that Ruby has a much better time of answering sides since he is more mobile rather than Zeka on the Zoe. So, but not going to make a difference.
Not going to be a huge impact on the game. And as you rightly say, we're looking towards the 5v5s realistically in this game. It's what we saw all through game number 1. Once we got past the 20-minute mark, it just exploded with 5v5s around the Baron. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Rogue Warriors are going to do the same thing.
I mean, we had true ARAMs in game 1. We had both teams standing in mid, just staring at each other, saying, who's going to go first? We'd see iBoy throw out the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, it whiffed, and then, you know, Rogue Warriors come out with the fight. So I expect it to be something similar this time around, just hopefully without the whiffed ultimates.
iBoy did hit one of them.
Yes, he did.
So,
he did hit one ultimate.
We'll take that over none. Take that. ZWuJi, on the other hand, so far has been decent with the ultimates.
I'm just saying, if no one sees you miss the ultimate, do you really miss the ultimate?
It's like a tree in the forest.
Exactly. I'm just gonna say,
if no one hears the ultimate whiff, the ultimate ever whiff.
If the casters start lying in retrospect and say all the ultimates were hit, is it now true? Because I'm willing to do that.
I mean, he had some great ults last game.
Yes, he did.
Has to be said.
He had that one where he hit 5 men and got the pentakill straight up.
That was impressive.
That was beautiful.
This is why we love APS.
He had the looted Zeka as well, so we saw the splash damage come out. It was just beautiful.
And it was like the TFT scaling.
And you guys might not have seen it because the stream probably went down right at that second, but it was beautiful to see.
Just trust us on this one. Trust us. Unfortunately, they still lost that game anyway, somehow. I don't really know how that happened. The stream went down for us as well.
But here, we're getting to that stage where we're potentially getting the ARAM we're talking about. Both teams pushing out side waves. Looks like Rogue Warriors does have control of them for now, but we do see both teams rotating towards the mid lane. So now it's going to be all about this dragon fight. Vici do have full control of vision. So now it's going to be all about Zeka throwing out these Sleepy Trouble Bubbles as well as Paddle Stars.
And this is an opportunity for Vici to really start to snowball this game. This would be sole point for them if they're able to grab the dragon. In the meantime, Rogue Warriors getting vision control of this Baron, threatening a trade here. They do have an Azir.
Still, it's so interesting the fact that they give up the dragon completely. They're going to let Vici get to soul point.
Yeah, and like, I was talking about potentially setting up a trade. They are not in position to trade.
You can't trade this. There's no way they do Baron fast enough at this point to realistically be able to trade for a dragon.
They're just going to go up towards the top lane and see if they can find themselves a tier 2. It is already low, so Ruby should be able to finish this one off, although Cube is on his way. The dragon will go down, so Vici find themselves on soul point. And I don't think with Cube here, there's any way to trade this one, so just straight up macro play from Vici and no response whatsoever from Warriors.
I'm actually so happy we see this graph now, because I was just going to reference how Colonel said it was like 60% favor for Rogue Warriors to start with. I'm starting to feel like this game is all Vici. They're getting a ton of resistances from this mountain that they're building up with. We see Zeka and iBoy are also huge damage dealers.
The Colonel's liking what he sees from Vici. It is worth mentioning, though, once again, there is a ton of combo potential on the side of Rogue Warriors. When it comes to these 5v5s, even with Vici having a lead, like a lot of it is going to be down to individual play. Lay is getting individually played upon right now, but he walks away with his life. Haro was looking for a flank potentially with Holder there, but they back away in the end. And once again, Ruby's still going to be up on the top side trying to threaten this tower, but with everyone dipping out of vision, he knows he's got to get out of dodge.
Yep, so now it's going to be all about that next dragon. I mean, we still are going to get to a place eventually where Ruby will obviously become a massive threat, but iBoy also 1-1-5, has a bounty himself, nearing that 3-item mark. So he's going to be quite the monster to deal with as well.
And ultimately, like, when we talk about the 3-item mark, most of it is about having that 75% crit chance, right?
Yep.
With the crit cape in there, he's still a 70% crit chance. Like, by all accounts, he's essentially at 3 items. Well, not quite, but you catch my meaning.
Ooh. No action. I was going to say, we're at that point now where we are realistically just waiting for the next mountain to come up. The next 3 minutes, I'm going to assume are going to be pretty uneventful, though Rogue Warriors obviously are the team that tried to make the play way before Dragon came up last time. They do have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so they could potentially always look for it. I would rather they don't, though, and we do have a slower 3 minutes.
I would rather that they do, but that's the kind of guy I am. But it's important to mention that we came into this series saying, look, Rogue Warriors is the kind of team that's going to fight you no matter what. They are just going to run at you. That is not the Rogue Warriors we've been seeing here today. Granted, last game, once we got to 20 minutes, there was definitely chaos, but it was at least to some extent calculated chaos.
But there was still Rogue Warriors the ones forcing the aggression last game, right? They were the ones continuously baiting the Baron.
But we are definitely seeing...
Ooh.
Hang on. Lay, you cheeky devil.
Maybe not the best relationship with Ruby. Not going to say it's not understandable, but...
they're fine. He's fine. He knew the bird would get away with things. He was maybe hungry for pigeon pie himself. Deciding...
He was encouraging his teammate and friend to carry him.
Yeah, he was like, this is your chance. 1v4, go. I'm just going to throw Leona at you and see what happens. Oh, Ruby's maybe in trouble here. He's got a soldier. He's okay. Good attempt on the pillar, though. Obviously, if the pillar comes up while he's sliding over, it does interrupt it.
I like that Vici aren't overcommitting for this pick because realistically they don't need to, right? They're still stronger. They have Dragon that's coming up in 1 minute and 40 seconds. They should be able to secure vision first off of a reset. So no reason to put yourself too much in harm's way.
And let's just remember here.
Ooh.
Oh, hang on. That's a paddle star.
Nope.
Slides out. He's going to be okay. Let's just remember, Zeka has 5 kills. Zeka has 2.5 items. Zeka has boots. He's got a lot of magic pen. If someone gets caught by a trouble bubble, they might just get one shot.
Even Holder really has, I mean, he has no MR, right? You don't buy Merc Treads for the MR, you get it for the tenacity. So even Holder going to take a ton of damage coming out from that paddle star.
But we reset once more. And I feel, I'm a little disappointed on one side. Oh, another paddle star. Onto Ruby again. Zeka's been doing wonders.
Sleepy trouble bubble, Munchables.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And you test me on my ability names last game. Shame on you.
I'm sorry. Do you know the name of the ultimate from Zoe?
Portal jump?
True.
All right, cool.
That one's the easiest one. Do you know the W though?
Get random items?
Pretty much. It's called Spell Thief.
Oh, cool.
So not far off.
I feel like
honestly.
they're pretty synonymous.
Yeah.
So.
All right, 20 seconds on the Dragon. Trouble Bubble. Almost hits, but not quite going to connect here. And we see that these teams more than happy to just A-ram this one up. They're fighting for priority before this Dragon spawns.
And I don't know how Rogue Warriors take this fight because Zeka never needs to truly commit onto Rogue Warriors. We already talked about the combo Rogue Warriors have with the Azir being able to ult people out of the Kindred ultimate if they then get low. Holder being able to keep Cube at arm's length. But Zeka wants to be at arm's length.
Lay just missed a hook, which is not something we see very often. He walks away with his life, though, is Ruby. Trying to get damage out while he can. And we disengage once more.
So we do have Cube playing this more zoning style of Kennen, you know, sit next to his carries, dissuade the enemy from coming in, wait till Zeka gets them low, and then they look for the engage.
This is Soul. You cannot trade a tier 1 in mid for Dragon Soul. This is not worth it, Rogue Warriors.
Yes, you can, Munchables, because Rogue Warriors just did it.
Well, they can. I'm just saying it's dumb. Okay?
It is dumb, but, I mean, they probably would have lost the fight regardless, but at that point,
like,
you probably have to gamble.
I came into this series saying Rogue Warriors is the team that's going to fight no matter what.
Ooh.
Maybe I was right, because after losing the Soul, now is the chance to fight, apparently. They go straight on towards Holder, though, and he gets out on a lantern. There is no fighting. Rogue Warriors are changed.
Oh, God. They're not in a good position, though.
Ruby can just block everything.
Well,
He's not gonna,
well,
though.
he didn't. He did not block everything for his teammates. He
God,
has sacrificed his
where are they going?
friends.
Where are they going? There's no way out of this one, Rogue Warriors.
Let's be honest, they're going towards their certain death.
They could fight this one, though. I'm ready.
Look
Come on,
where
Rogue
Ruby
Warriors.
is.
In goes Cube. Stuns across the entire team. Lamstor's might keeps him alive for now, but not for very long. As down come the rest of Vici, and there's nowhere to run. See you later, ZWuJi. Another kill for Zeka. And well, I think we might be going to 3 games, Lyric.
Guys, I hope the thing you take from this is that friendship is the most important thing there is. And Ruby was clearly not friends with the rest of his teammates because, you're right, he could have just, even laid down that ultimate, made it hard for the rest of the members to try and cut them off, maybe buy a bit of time for his teammates.
Look,
but that didn't happen.
when I think of friendship, I think of WE. They're sitting pretty on 4th in the standings right now. That display of friendship from Rogue Warriors was not strong enough. It didn't have the stuff of legends like WE do.
I'm just saying, V5 also look like another team with lots of friendship. So clearly you're... Okay, we're going to see Cube use this ultimate, but let's be honest, realistically, nothing happens here. Look on the minimap, Ruby is nowhere close. So back to the important point, clearly your place in the standings is very synonymous with your level of friendship. Maybe bar top esports who are just so good that friendship doesn't matter.
I don't know, JackieLove seems like a good friend until he leaves the team and and betrays you to try and win the World Championship
Hey,
with another
Rookie
squad.
was a good friend, and Rookie said, hey, JackieLove, do what's best for yourself, man.
That's true.
And look, they're doing pretty all right as well. So
Both
clearly,
teams are good.
Rookie's friendship paying off in dividends for IG this split.
And for top esports, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, mutually fantastic trade, and all off the base. So what we're saying is the reason that LPL is the best region in the world is because the best teams are all really good friends. And that's what we can take away from today, ladies
All
and gentlemen.
teams are Season 4 Cloud9.
Friendship trumps everything.
This would be Season 3 Summer Cloud9.
I mean, that team was pretty good for a long time.
Yes, it was.
Let's just clarify. We're talking about the roster that had high, had balls, sneaky.
Meteos,
Lemon Nation.
Lemon Nation, the Notebook.
What a team.
But, yeah, back to this game. We actually see Haro fighting Cube on the mini-map. Haro trying to get more marks, which I guess makes sense, but Vici can just keep pushing forward.
It doesn't matter.
Really, I was going to say, realistically, there's
he
not
can be
much.
on 12 marks. He's not going to be able to.
There's a
fix these
7-0 and 2 Zoe, guys. There's an Aphelios with 3.5 items. And Rogue Warriors are behind 6,000 gold.
Yeah.
And they're against a Mountain Soul with 3 mountains.
They've got a Mountain Soul. They've got a Baron. They can just sit here all day long and siege away. These cannons are going to do work, but ZWuJi steps forward to try and answer them. One more shot from the cannon isn't quite enough.
Hey, but
There it goes.
Haro split pushing. We have some map pressure on top side. We have some, what's another buzzword? We have priority coming out, Munchables.
They've got themselves some tempo to work with.
They can rotate around the map.
I don't know if he's going to have much opportunity to rotate. But
Well,
he
look-
can recall, which is another word that starts with R.
Yes, he can. But,
Can the minions get the tower? The observers are just as
Let's
invested in this
see.
as I am. There it
Rogue
goes.
Warriors secure an objective.
That's the kind of tempo swing that I'm
There
looking
we
for. These are the
go.
rotations that make League of Legends great.
There's the split map scenarios.
You don't get this in Dota, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. I've seen it. I watched Dota once, never again.
Well, Rogue Warriors.
Kindred doesn't even exist in Dota. How are
That's-
you going to make a play as
that's-
Haro and Kindred
That's true.
in Dota?
You don't have iBoy in Dota.
That's true.
But, for Vici, they can just continuously group up as 5 and stand in front of Rogue Warriors. They don't need to run in. They can just throw down paddle stars and, pretty much one-shot them. Or they also can run in and just win a fight outright because at this point, Empress Divide and Lance Fight don't mean anything.
Solar Flare doesn't mean anything anyway, because Rogue Warriors shrug it off like it's just a sunny day. They've got the sun cream on, they've got the shades, they're going to be Gucci. And I think Vici just going to back away again.
Let's be honest, though, with the champions that Rogue Warriors have, if Vici does make a big mistake, you still have a ton of late-game DPS coming out from, Haro, Ruby, and ZWuJi. So there is still some hope here for Rogue Warriors.
Let's just bear one thing in mind here, that Vici have massive priority right now in the mid lane, and they're just going to start fighting. Forget the mid lane, they're going for an all-in right now. Or they're not. They have priority in the mid lane, and Elder Dragon is up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, so now Vici can just take this mid lane turret, then back off, get straight onto the Elder. They're going to have all the vision set up regardless.
God, Rogue Warriors are just terrifying. Like, what is the game plan right now for Rogue Warriors? How do you even get back into this? Because I feel like you're just all in.
Well, no, you're hoping Vici make a mistake, right? So that's all Rogue Warriors are doing right now. They know the fact that they have scaling champions, forcing it. You don't want to force it to like a Hail Mary 50-50 until the very last second you need to do so.
All right, I'm with you. Well, Elder Drake could be that opportunity.
Oh, Ruby should not be the one face-checking brushes.
Well, he does have soldiers. That's the nice thing about being an Emperor. It's a hook. It doesn't matter because of port jump, but it's a hook.
Yep, and Holder doing his best.
How is that the damage out of just the bubble? ZWuJi taken to half HP right there. iBoy is terrifying on this Aphelios as well. Forget the 3-atom spike. He's on 4 now. And Drake will just be started here by Vici.
Yeah, I mean, Vici are still just trying to bait out a fight. They're not going to overcommit to the Drake and let a steal come out from Haro and, you know, pretty much throw the game into chaos.
You mentioned how Ruby can't face check. Basically, no one on Rogue Warriors really can face check here.
Holder needs to be the one to do it. You also do have the Lantern coming out.
Oh, Cube's gone in over the wall here. Double stun across the team, and Lamstar Spike does keep the team alive here. Cube could be in trouble himself, but walks away with his life. Holder on the backside here. Jumping towards for the Haymaker, but it won't be enough. Ooh. And now it's all about iBoy finishing off the kill. It's another fight for Vici. And you know, it looked pretty good for Rogue Warriors for a second there, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, guys, this is what happens when, you know, you're winning 5K gold. You have Mountain Soul. You have all of your gold on your Zoe and your Aphelios. And we saw Ruby tried to 1v1 the Aphelios. Goes in. It looks kind of good. Then he gets crit, and he just dies instantly.
Yeah, it was like 2 auto attacks, and down goes the Birdman. This is going to be game number 2 going the way of Vici Gaming. And, I mean, we said it off at the start. This was always going to game 3. And we'll see if Rogue Warriors can wake themselves up again after a pretty disappointing second game.
Now, I don't want to reveal ourselves as the script.